Hello, dear viewers! So, it's time for me to snap out of my summer vacation slumber and make a build! Today we have the Scavenger, the Dwemer build, part of a project shared with my friend, PC Outcast. Go watch his parallel build after this, if you haven't seen it yet. Link should be in the description. This is a stealth build, but quite heavy on alteration perks and spells. He combines love of loot, especially of the Dwemer variety, with steamy punching and crowd control of the Tonal Architect mod. He is a slightly insane wood elf who read a book about the Dwemer once and decided to travel across the continent to see the actual Dwemer ruin. Over time, he came to the conclusion he must have a Dwemer soul, hence his glorious beard. He developed an obsession with Dwemer lore and technology, and he disregards most other things, including personal hygiene and healthy diet and, you know, things of that nature. Game-wise, he is a thief of swords, specialized in lockpicking, hand-to-hand combat, diversion tactics, using many Dwemer toys, and infiltration. He can deliver stealth kills, he can avoid combat altogether if he so chooses, or he can stand up and punch people with a rather terrifying effectiveness. The main mods for the build are Vokrii, Odin, Tonal Architect, Evenstar, and obviously Summermyst. But you will also need a few others used in the video: Dwemer exploding traps, bombs and arrows, animated Dwarven backpack and Dwemer goggles and scouter. And for the aesthetics we have Dwemer Beards Modular clothing system, and also little bits from immersive armors, bandana and earrings. Perhaps you can replace them with something from the modular clothing system if you would like to skip a mod or two. His outfit is almost entirely composed out of the modular clothing little bits. It was fun to assemble the outfit. It gives us more enchantment slots than usual, but since I am not using the honed metal or enchanting skill, it was okay, I think, to use the extra slots. Of course it was okay, for legendary at least, I thought. For the race I choose a wood elf. It doesn't really matter that much. A Breton would be better, a red guard would be better, but I just felt like a wood elf. Just let's move on. For the stone, we have the Shadow Stone. Combined with a Summermyst enchantment and Vokrii light armor perks, it will give us quite useful sneak attack with punches. Our punching will deal thrice the damage in sneak, and since you can land up to 3 punches when double power attacking from sneak, you can take down quite a few enemies, and quite strong enemies, in a matter of seconds this way. For the attributes, we have 3 points of stamina per 2 of health. Magicka will be increased with enchantments, potions and alter self perk. Our main skills are sneak, lockpicking, light armor, alchemy, alteration and smithing. In sneak we will skip the sneak attack perks, but will take most of the rightmost branch and of the leftmost branch. Here are the perks. I love the dodge roll. It's my favorite way of avoiding damage, especially when you also have the damage negating perk in light armor. You can stop caring about the AR too much. Our AR will be rather crappy early game. Then it gets better because the little bits from modular clothing system have very crappy armor rating, but they are increased greatly from smithing. It's rather weird. Just check it out yourself. It's interesting. It's weird. You will have a satisfying armor rating in the end. Don't you worry. Why are you worried? What the hell? Just calm down. Anyway, okay. Escape Artist and Fog of War helps fixing mistakes you may commit in combat, and Lightfoot is perfect for a character whose hands start to shake if he can't explore a Dwemer ruin for a week. We will need a surprising amount of perks in lockpicking. All the leftmost perks up to the Treasure Hunter will make you find so much stuff in the boss chests. You probably won't be able to sell all of them. Collecting all the enchantments will be easy though, so that's a good one. Obviously, the entire Dwemer automaton line will be great for the character. With the bonuses from Overdrive, you won't really need any company, but just in case, you will also summon some Dwemer automatons through staffs and spells, well, a staff and a spell. And obviously the Dungeon Master, to destroy the enemies with traps. If you feel really sneaky and stealthy and smart, you can set up a bunch bunch of your own mines created with the Dwemer Traps mod near a pre-existing trap and lure your enemies there with a noise or maybe the throw voice shout. Great fun, great fun, great fun. Yes, and in the light armor we have all the unarmed combat perks except for Key Strike. We will enchant our power attacks with spells and then yes, it will be cool. Then the middle branch up to Tough Hide, Training and Keen Senses. And all the mobility and evasion perks on the right, including my favorite Evasive Sprint and Untouchable. Perking light armor to this degree is fundamentally OP. It's scarily OP. It should be forbidden, but luckily it's not. Your damage will be so dependent on stamina, and your stamina regen will be so high with the enchantments and potions and the perks that you will be able to take down bandit marauders and avoid damage so easily you will occasionally get bored. You will need to invent new and colorful ways of destroying your foes. Luckily, you will have alteration spells for that. And for alteration perks, you may choose to ignore the left hand side with Mage Armor and Okatos Preparation. I, however, decided to take these two because of my less than optimal fashion choices. Even a few additional points of armor made me feel more, secure and safe. And since my magicka was low, I needed my armor spells to be cast at no cost. Speaking of low magicka, alter self, increasing my magicka, Atronak, letting me absorb some magicka and magic resistance, freeing up more enchantment slots for fortify magicka are all rather necessary and substantial to the build. Headhoth's Escape is a cool perk paralyzing enemies who would otherwise deal a killing blow, and it's rather cool when it pairs with your sneak perks, allowing you to hide instantly when the fight goes wrong for you. We will take very few perks and 2 crafting skills, smithing and alchemy. You need dwarven smithing to craft all your gadgets, and alchemy master, the benefactor, should be quite enough in alchemy, especially that you will probably need some fortify enchanting potions so that you can make decent items without perks in enchanting. Fortify, alteration, destruction, sneak, some elemental resistances perhaps, and all that should also be useful to patch up some weak spots of the build. Oh, and of course, regenerate stamina. Potions will be absolutely vital. You can luckily make them from some easily accessible mushrooms. Now for the items. Oh my god, there's so many. So many! You need your Dwemer Scouter, which at the cost of some Dwemer oil can make you detect life, see in the darkness and highlight the high-level enemies. Due to the tactical nature of the build, it is always a good idea to scan a new dungeon with detect life and plan your moves ahead of time. Then we have the weird animated backpacks and leg items, boosters, thingies around my feet. The Dwemer backpack mod adds many kinds of them with different effects. The best for me was the recon backpack, improving my sneak. Unfortunately, the scouter and the backpack occupy the same item slot for some reason, and it sucks. I needed to choose which one to wear, and generally it was mood dependent. I also tried to have the explosive traps always in my inventory. Unfortunately, there is a soft conflict between the Dwemer Traps mod and the Vokrii. The more advanced variants of the bombs won't be available to you because there is no ranks in Alchemist or Enchanter perks on which the higher variants of the bombs depend. Never mind though, you can always place 2 or 3 of them near one another. You can still use them to soften the enemies and or get rid of the weakest ones. And most importantly, they still go boom. I like to be all smart ass about all the synergies and tactics, but actually I mainly care about things going boom and pew pew pew. I'm in my 30s and it's completely normal. It's absolutely okay.
Okay. Of course. Yeah. Little tears.
Yeah.
Crying.
Yeah.
Sobbing.
Yeah.
30 years old though? Almost 31?
Oh yeah!
Alright.
Then, for your super stylish clothes, we have a bandana, the earrings, and a scouter of Fortify Magicka. Yes, the scouter can be enchanted. We have Fortify unarmed damage on the ring and the leather bracers. Fortify health on the black leather coat. We have the merchant belt of stamina regen. We have Northman's pants of Fortify sneak attacks, which will stack with shadow stones bonus, of course, and recharge weapons on the necklace. And why recharge weapons? Because we also want to use the ethereal staff. It will be actually quite useful for many things, not only summoning, but also to use its charges on a summon from the Tonal Architect mod. You can empower and buff the summons this way. We have the magnificent rollback enchantment on the leather boots. It will be wonderful for placing a trap or summoning a construct and then sodding off back into the shadows, especially with the escape artist perk. Also, we have a shoulder cape with Fortify alteration. The weird leg booster thingies come from the Dwarven backpack mod as mentioned, and one enhances our Magicka regen by 25%, while the other improves carrying capacity, and you will carry a lot of stuff all the time. We also have many spells. My favorite one is the one that makes people fly away, and when you punch them and things go boom and they fly. Because I'm a grown-up. Actually, late in the game, with a Fortify Magicka potion, you should be able to auto-cast the Shocking Strikes and then both Orc Strength and Power Stroke. It will make your power attacks deadly, dealing over 100 extra damage and flinging the targets so far away, the game will probably kill them regardless of the damage. It's rather insane. For a more subtle approach, you can use the Crank Mine, which reduces the armor of all enemies in the area. You can combine that with the Corrosion spell, which removes even more armor. If you can find the Force Bolt spell, unfortunately available only in random loot, so some mage hunting perhaps will be in order, you can pull off a nice and quite humiliating actually combo. Force Bolt immobilizes targets, then you can cast Corrosion and or Vulnerability and place a Crank Mine near the immobilized enemies. Drink a Restore Magicka potion in between if needed, although Force Bolt and Crank Mine are dirty cheap. Then summon a Construct, either with the Create spell or the Ethereal Staff, and let them go and wreak havoc on your enemies. This is even better when you have another construct hotwired, because you don't really need to do anything, you just stand back and watch as the humiliated and weakened enemies get wrecked by your empowered and buffed constructs. These are the main spells, but I would also suggest to use the utility spells such as Slowfall, Gonar's Greed, Fabricate Object, maybe Leak Step to sprint faster, all the little things that can help you move around and plan ahead and craft easier, and they just suit the character very well. For the shouts, we can definitely have some use for Slow Time, Become Ethereal, and Throw a Voice. Slow Time should be used with a Fortify Alteration potion, obviously. So in the end, the result gameplay is a little bit like a very angry steampunk monk, but also quite a master of careful preparation and planning. So the dude has a split personality disorder, probably. He probably talks to himself constantly. Not very peacefully either. Right. I think we are done here. Oh gosh, that was fast. Make sure to watch PC Outcast's build, destroy the like button and subscribe for more. Next month, Friday the 27th, there will be a Dwemer Mage build on both my and PC's channel. We think the mage should be very flashy and boom boom and pew 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 pew. A very good finish to the Dwemer Builds project. It should be fun. Subscribe to stay in touch. It's free. Susan Wojcicki will like you very much for it, I'm sure, and I will probably like you for it somewhat. And although we probably don't have a like button, and I don't really know how to like things that don't have a like button anymore. So I will do my best to like you back. Okay, I am not talking sensibly anymore, so I will just sod off and you have a great fun with this build. We shall see each other again. Bye bye.
If you like that video, you're gonna love the next one.
I hated that video.
Well, then you're gonna love the next one.
Calm down, okay?